I wanted to share just a behind-the-scene moments of what happened at the California Women's Conference, because I was with media. We reached 4.5 million people just that weekend, and those videos and interviews are still going out there in television and radio. So it's expanding. Behind the scenes, you don't know who you're going to interview next. So you're just always ready. I think there's a powerful lesson in that, to just be ready. Not about perfection. You're given 2 minutes. Okay, here's the person you're going to interview. After a while, you're interviewing so many people, you don't really know, you can't retain the name. Like that spot in the brain is gone. So after a while, would you like to introduce yourself? I mean, you just kind of go forward, and they're very short, fast interviews. So you get to say yes again and again and again. You get to practice being ready and showing up and holding the space for that person who's an amazing expert. So one of the experts I got to interview was the FCC commissioner of the entire United States. And it was on the second day when the brain wasn't moving as quickly. Oh, the FCC commissioner of the entire, whole United States. About communication, right? And I was handed her information. They're trying to feed things in. I have signs being held up with me. She's sitting down. I'm trying to hold space. Her staff assistants are all over here. And I'm trying to be grounded in that space. And I welcome her. And I was also wearing a dress red. But when you sit down, sometimes dresses go a little bit lower. So that was going on too. And I'm sitting there holding space, and I felt like she looked at me and she was warm, but also like, is how it felt to me. But it could be a total story I'm creating, because she was wonderful and powerful and gracious and so willing to share from the heart. And as she did that, we went right in, because I got to interview the political panel. I got to interview all these all these amazing people who are in leadership positions in government, as well as in different parts of our country and in different roles, but all high-profile leadership kinds of things. And what was so impressive to me is they were willing to go to the heart, but I got to lead it. So instead of these amazing experts going to their comfort zone, the platform they're promoting, those kinds of things, I got to take them to my area of expertise, which is the heart. So I'm saying, when you have these opportunities, even when you're feeling maybe not grounded, signs are waving at you, whatever, oh yes, I guess I'm here now interviewing, you stand in it and you do it and you bring it to your space, your area of expertise, and they showed up amazingly. I learned all kinds of incredible things, and I got to share that out in the world. So the FCC commissioner talked about how you're always willing to be first, never last, because you're paving the way for another, and how important it is. And she talked about what it's like to be misunderstood. Really human heart things that we could all learn from, and she was willing to go there. And so at the end, I felt such a bond with her. I said, "Can I hug you?" The cameras were off at that point. And she goes, "Girl, I'm from the South. We hug." So big hug, stayed connected. And then I asked, because I wanted a hug, right? I wanted that connection, so I was willing to ask. And she leaned in and said yes. It wouldn't have happened otherwise. Secondly, I wanted her on my show. So I asked. I followed up. I went through all the steps and the processes and the approval and all that good stuff. She showed up on my radio show. It was August 1st when we released it. Gave an hour of her time. She had the grandmother story. She brought a grandmother story. She talked about a chance encounter in the airport that changed the course of her life. She talked woman to woman. She said she took off her legislative hat and she tweeted it out and shared it out. And even if that show was never shared, it was something that was so powerful to me that you can lean in, you can ask, and people will say yes, and they will meet you in your area of expertise, and they'll show up powerfully. And I thought, what a lesson for me. Wherever I go in life, that's how I want to show up. I want to show up fully. I want to show up being part of what is being created so that I can support it and shine that out into the world. So as we're talking about media, as we're talking about platforms, as we're talking about visibility, I want you to think about those things and remember,